What's going on, everybody? John the Tourist here in the city where I was born and raised, Boston, Massachusetts. Standing alongside of me are some good friends. This is Ramon and Jerry. What you got to say, fellas? You're on the John the Tourist channel for the first time.
Thank you, John, for having us, man, and thank you guys for watching.
Enjoy it, enjoy it. It's gonna be very nice out here.
All right, so what we're gonna be doing in this video, we're gonna be shining the light on downtown Crossing. You know, over the past year, I've been doing a lot of traveling, a lot of exploring. Colombia, Brazil, Ecuador, just to name a few. And throughout my YouTube journey, I haven't really shined the light on Boston. Just a few clips here and there, but I haven't really spoke about this historic city. So that's what I intend to do here in this video. So right now, this is Winter Street. Now, Winter Street leads us in to downtown Crossing. Downtown Crossing is by far one of the most busiest and bustling shopping districts in Boston. It was once a crime-ridden part of town. It was filled with a lot of shady characters, a lot of illegal activity. Well, I mean, some of that still exists, but not to the degree of once before. It's a place filled with tourists, beautiful shoppers, good food,
good shopping stores,
shopping, restaurant, bars.
Theater, we got the movie theater, we got the Boston Commons, we got the duck tours out here. Very beautiful out here.
Yeah, this is a place where you'll find, a mixed bag of people, locals,
different races.
Yeah, people on vacation.
Beautiful people.
Lunatics, you'll find plenty of lunatics around here too.
Yes, sir. Definitely lunatics.
Wild women, you'll find some wild women.
Yes. Yes.
This was a part of town that you definitely didn't want to be in back in the day. Like I said a few moments ago, crime-ridden. It was a part of town that it just oozed crime, shall we say. And but now it's a thriving part of the town. You'll find a whole bunch of high-rise residential buildings, office buildings, and it's interesting because it came to a point where this part of town, not only the residents of Boston, but just business owners and just businesses in general were starting to give up on this place. It was becoming a depressing place. But today, different story. It's a place where if you're born and raised in this city, you have some kind of history or some kind of moment of memory in downtown Crossing. Isn't that right, gentlemen?
Yes, sir. That is correct, man. I remember when I was a kid and I used to come down here, man. I would come down here and want to go right away, man. I would see a lot of shady stuff going on.
A lot of shady stuff,
man. Like people getting robbed, beat up, jumped, all kinds of stuff, man. I can remember too down in the combat zone.
Well,
those who don't know, the combat zone was down by Chinatown Station, where there was a bunch of pimps and a bunch of hoes. We're gonna put it out like that. Pimps and hoes. I mean, it was really serious. Yeah. You would see the women walking in their panties and bras with heels, and the pimps with their suits and canes.
It was crazy out here, man.
And you would hear the pimps yelling at the women, "Hurry the fuck up, go get my fucking money." It was crazy, man. But it changed big time, tremendously.
Now it's a beautiful place to come and visit, enjoy the food, go to the theaters.
We got beautiful people all over the world come down here.
Yeah.
Well put, gentlemen. And there's a lot of misconceptions in the city of Boston. As Ramon was just referring to, there's wonderful people who you will find here. So, in other words, Boston is probably one of the most diverse cities in America. A lot of people think this city is just run by Irish people, or this city, everybody's miserable. But that's far from the truth. Far from the truth. Like I said, one of the most diverse cities. I mean, it's a place where you'll find people from all over the world: Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Cape Verde, China, India, and Haitians, Jamaicans, the list goes on. Right now, this is what some people call the heartbeat of Boston. This is the infamous downtown crossing. You're looking at it right here.
Downtown crossing, for those that don't know. Very beautiful out here. We got Primark, Macy's.
You got your Macy's here, you got your Primark, which this is, you know, really new. You know, it just came.
That's the food court where you can just go in there and grab any type of food. They got at least like 12, 13 stations in there you can eat.
Yep.
Yeah, and want to know what's interesting about that Primark right there, as Ramon just pointed out? That is the very first Primark in the US of A.
It used to be a Filene's before, years ago. Now it's a Primark.
The historic Filene's basement. And what's funny about that Primark is it played a big role in the resurgence of this district, downtown crossing.
Very
old, and the building's name is the Burham Building. And like Jerry just said a few moments ago, it was the old Filene's basement.
Old Filene's basements back in the days.
And
you had to go downstairs, the stairs to go to the basement.
Yeah.
I remember
A lot of
those
these
days.
buildings are very old down here, man. Very old.
No, not to be rude, I'm a Bostonian for real. I'm hating on. I'm hating on y'all jackets. I'm hating on both y'all jackets. And I never hate on none.
Hey.
T,
what's up, T?
Yo, I have a friend.
You don't even recognize me, huh?
Yeah.
What's up, baby?
Incognito, nigga. Nigga, we already flipped. Wait,
What you think about Boston, bro? We doing a video. Tell me about Boston, how Boston is, man.
I love Boston as long as you real and you know how to get the sex appeal. Boston money and make more money, and we buy things that is exorbitant, nigga.
Exorbitant.
And we're very conceited. If you're from the Boston area, nigga, we break necks and get checks, nigga.
Hey, what's with the Lakers hat?
Cause I'm dating. Yo, listen, yo, I knew a nigga Boston said that shit, but since I didn't lose a bet. It matches what I'm wearing, and plus, tonight I'm gonna talk to a dad, a Mexican American female from LA.
Oh, there you go.
All right.
Yo, baby, if you hear me, I'm sorry, baby. She's Pyru. Sorry, baby. She was Pyru trick, baby.
All right, take care, bro. I love you too. Stay safe, bro.
Yo, man.
Interesting place.
Interesting place. See what I mean? See what I mean, guys? We got beautiful people out here. We got some really Bostonian people out here for your information. Tell you,
a lot of people love telling people they're from Boston.
Yes.
People don't have no shame of that.
Yeah.
And there's no shame of Boston. I love Boston myself, man. You know, and that's what it is, you know.
We got the Paramount over there, down the street from Washington. You see,
That
old
building
school.
is very
old too.
Very
classic.
old. That's one building in Boston that has a bunch of lights. That's the only building in Boston.
It's right next to the
that
Opera
has
House.
lights. Yes.
Let's go see
You
this.
can see, you know, we have a Chase Bank here. This is brand new. We never had banks really like this in downtown Boston.
You know, and as I take a look around, you know, as we point out the Primark and the theaters and whatnot, you know, like I said, this place has had a intense resurgence. You know, it's amazing. It really is. You know, I remember all these storefronts were empty. The homeless were just taking over, you know, sleeping in every doorway. But now, today, in present day, in 2024, different. As we take it down, this is Washington Street. Now, Washington Street is one of the longest streets in Boston. I don't think it's the longest, but it just might be. Washington Street, Massachusetts Avenue, you know, this street, Washington Street, it runs for miles. For miles, this Washington Street. And, you know, if you just stay on Washington Street, let's say whether you're walking or you're riding a bike, you'll see many of the vibrant neighborhoods of Boston. You'll see Chinatown, you'll see the South End, Roxbury, Jamaica Plain, Rosendale, and Washington Street just keeps on going. And I think it ends in the suburb of, honestly, I don't know what suburb it ends, but you know, we'll go ahead and put that on the screen as well. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, now feast your eyes on this. Now, I'm sure you have never, ever seen this before. There's a ton of YouTubers out there in the world, but I'm sure this is the first. And you're seeing it here on the John the Tourist channel. This big ass whale right here, smack dab in the middle of a busy and bustling city center. Look at this. Get a load of this. You know what? Let's get closer, shall we? Let's get closer. Look at this.
John, can you show him the tower?
This is the building right here where the movie was filmed, the Equalizer 2. It's a very famous building.
Starring who? Who was in that movie?
Denzel Washington.
DW, the man.
The man.
The man himself, the legend.
We see them doing the movie.
You got a lot of famous people that stay in these buildings, which they, you know.
Ted.
One of the Celtics player, Brown. What's his name again?
Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown used to live here too, also.
Manny Ramirez also had a place here.
The coach for the Bruins live in this building.
So if you look all the way up the top, John, can you bring it up to the top?
You know what? Let me get. We got this tree in the way, so. One minute.
Yeah. Up in the top is penthouses up there. Those go for about $1.something million. If you guys ever, you know, think of coming and renting one of these places down here, this is in the heart of downtown Boston right here, man. So just keep that in mind.
Alright, so we're gonna keep this thing rolling. We're gonna keep on strolling down Washington Street. John the Tourist and friends.
Right now we in Franklin and Washington.
There it is.
Old South Meeting House.
The Old South Meeting
Building
House
right here with the clock on it is called the Old South Meeting House. This is one of the oldest buildings in Boston. For those who didn't know, this has a lot of history here.
This building too. This building is very old too. It's been there for a very long time.
Yeah, and you know that's definitely something that you'll find here in downtown Crossing. Historic landmarks.
Yeah.
You got the Old South Meeting House. You got the Old State House, and just got a lot of old and a lot of first.
A lot of new school
in this
and
district.
Old school.
Yeah, definitely. This is for sure. This is where old school meets new school.
Yep.
No doubt about it.
An old congregational building here, this church. This is an historic Old South Meeting House.
And you know what? Right across from it, this building, as we talk about the history, here's even more history for you. This is the location, the building. Well, I'm sure this is the exact building. I'm sure at the time it was some straw, you know, house. Some house made out of haystacks. Anyways, where I'm getting at is this is the location where Benjamin Franklin was born. Every woman's favorite old man. He was born right here in Boston, Massachusetts. Benjamin Franklin, Mr. Benjamin, you know, the $100 man, whatever you want to call it, the man of many nicknames, monikers.
Straight ahead now, we have the Irish Feminine Memorial, guys, if you don't know. We're gonna show you some statues coming up soon.
No smoking, and don't feed the birds.
As you see, guys,
that is correct.
And when we say birds, we're not just talking about pigeons, we're talking about the unique characters that tend to hang around here. Those are some birds too, you know.
the oldest statues we got in downtown right now.
And yeah, if you just take a look at these buildings, you know, they speak for themselves, you know, as we've been saying throughout this whole video, the history and how old the city of Boston is, you know, and you can see it just by taking a look at the buildings, you know, and as I pan around to this side too. Yeah. We got this mega Walgreens. You know, I remember, you know, growing up, this Walgreens was actually
a bookstore,
a Borders bookstore. Yeah. And,
years ago.
Yeah, and everybody would come here, you know, and whether it was they were reading, magazines, or if they were just into books. Now, obviously, as we live in a day and age with technology, that's no longer needed, you know. You know, so
Look how the years change.
Yeah.
Look at the building. You got upstairs on the 2nd and 3rd floor. You have the, you know, the big corporate office upstairs of Walgreens. You see, you got Mobster Lobster trolley tours there. This Boston is very famous for the trolley tours.
yeah, for sure.
The duck tours. We got the duck tours out here.
Correct. You will see a lot of these, you know, trolleys here.
Yeah, and for those of you who follow sports, you know, this is a championship city, you know, the city of champions, you know.
Right. Yes,
and anytime when we had our football teams, baseball teams, whatever team winning, they would pass through right here, and they would be on the trolleys, on the duck boats. Yeah.
Very beautiful out here.
I remember
man.
back in the day, we would have Tom Brady passing through, David Ortiz, Paul Pierce,
Pedro Martinez.
you know, this. I remember, you know, growing up, this city was just winning championships.
Yeah.
It almost felt like every year, right?
Yeah.
Every year we're winning championships, you know.
Right. Yeah.
So that is something else that made this place special growing up here.
That is correct.
Very historic. We got the Boston memories right there. We got Chipotle. That building is old. It's very historical.
Boston memories, baby.
Boston memories right there.
All right, Jerry, what you got on your mind, man?
Well, I'm gonna get myself a nice, call it Shade Shack, grind me a shake, you know. Thank you, John the Tourist, for having me on your channel. It's been very great. I'll see y'all later. All right, sir.
All right, Jerry.
Take care.
All right, thank you, Jerry.
Side everybody, as you just saw, my man Jerry, he got a hunger pain, so he's going in there to get himself some cheeseburgers, some fries, some milkshakes. I gotta cure that hunger. But my boy Ramon, he's gonna hang on with me.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna keep this party rolling, and we're gonna get ready to hop into the subway of Boston. All right, everybody, so myself, Ramon, and Jerry, we had a great time today, going all over downtown Crossing, but you know, it's getting late, so it's time to wrap things up. But before we do that, we're gonna hop into the historic Orange Line train station. This is State Station, located right here in downtown Crossing. Boston has the Orange Line, Blue Line, Red Line, Green Line. We got the Purple Line too, but that's more of a commuter rail train that goes out to the suburbs. But anyways, let's get to it. We're gonna take it down the stairs. Smells down here. Train's coming. Train's coming. The train just arrived.
Well, guys, this is the oldest subway in the United States. The oldest underground subway.
I know, Alex already told me.
1897. And the name used to be called Rapid Transit. It's not Rapid Transit no more.
Yeah, right.
All right, Johnny, man, thank you for having me. All right, John the Tourist, followers and watchers, subscribe, and thank you.